I'm not here to complain. I just want to get it fixed out. Please.
Just a number. It makes it look like I did something right.
Okay.
I don't know the fuck they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games. Let's go. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
What happens when boxing's history and present collide? Not beneath the brilliant lights of Las Vegas, but in the heart of Dubai International Airport. The answer is chaos. Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather, two names synonymous with greatness in their respective periods, cross paths in the most unlikely locations. Instead of handshakes or respect, Crawford delivered a punch. Yes, but swung at Floyd Mayweather at the Dubai airport. The footage has already dramatically changed the boxing world. However, the meeting was not a random scuffle. This incident is directly related to Floyd's rumored professional comeback, his planned fight against Mike Tyson, and the ongoing dispute over who is the best of all time, Crawford or Mayweather.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
So, let us unpack everything. We'll talk about how the fight started, why Floyd might have started it, how Canelo's name comes up in this story, and how this could pave the way for the biggest fight in modern boxing.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Yes. That makes a difference to people.
Witnesses report that the tension was instantaneous. Floyd Mayweather was walking through the VIP part of Dubai Airport, accompanied by his customary entourage. Terence Crawford, who has been everywhere since starting the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez, happened to be there as well. It began with steps, followed by words. Floyd gave one of his signature smirks and apparently dismissed Crawford's Canelo victory as overrated, but never wanted anyone to hold back, and he snapped back. Both men were flanked by an entourage. Security raced in, but the shouting continued. Then it occurred. That led his fists to the talking, cracking Floyd. Phones were out, fans were yelling, and videos of Crawford's punch were quickly trending globally. The airport devolved into a circus, with both entourages fighting, shouting battles exploding, and security hauling both sides away before things got out of control. It wasn't just a quarrel. It was symbolic since it wasn't just two guys running into each other. The event focused on heritage, ego, and the crown of boxing excellence.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, you know, but I've seen Hagler Hearns, I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
So, why did Bud swing? Is it just a lack of respect? For years, Floyd Mayweather has acted as if no fighter after him deserves to be compared to him. When fans inquired if Crawford could beat him, Floyd laughed it off. He hailed himself the best ever and brushed buttocks aside.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
Then Bud astonished the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez, which no one thought was possible. That fight was more than just an upset. It was a rewrite of history. The pound-for-pound debate shifted away from who was the best today. The question became, is Terence Crawford better than Floyd Mayweather ever was?
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
The shocking element is that Canelo, who faced both Floyd and Crawford, claims Crawford is superior. That upset Floyd because for years, Floyd's biggest success had been deconstructing Canelo and portraying him as easy work. Now the same Canelo is praising Bud. Floyd felt that was too much.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when the two finally met, it was more than just words. It was about decades of egos colliding head-on.
I feel like we done seen Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar but very different.
Here's when things get even more complex. Days before the airport incident, Floyd Mayweather hinted in an interview that he was thinking about making a professional comeback. There will be no more exhibitions or easy checks. He aspires to return to the professional levels. And what is the name he has his eye on? Terence Crawford. This makes sense. Crawford is the face of this era. Floyd was the face of the previous period. This is a conflict between former and current leaders. If Floyd wants to establish his reign as untouchable, there is no better fight.
So if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
And let's be honest, Floyd isn't dumb. He understands that this conflict is momentous, but considers it hazardous. If he defeats Floyd, naysayers will simply claim Floyd was old. However, if he loses, his entire career suffers because he will be remembered for being unable to defeat 47-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Floyd sees only positive outcomes. If he loses, people will shrug and say, well, he was way past his prime. What if he somehow defeats Bud? That would be one of the greatest statements in boxing history.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
Floyd, on the other hand, must first clear another obstacle before he can even consider fighting Crawford. Mike Tyson. That's correct. Floyd's next scheduled fight is an exhibition versus Iron Mike Tyson.
Fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
On paper, all of this appears to be entertainment. Tyson is far into his 50-second time limit, but Floyd remains energetic and sharp. Logic dictates Floyd should cruise.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not gonna complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were gonna weigh this thing. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is gonna wanna watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
But a single Tyson strike changes everything. If Floyd is caught and knocked out, even in an exhibition, the Crawford fight is over because Bud will not fight someone who has just lost to a nearly 60-year-old Tyson. Fans will not demand it. Promoters will not push it. And Floyd's image will be devastated.
It was recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one, he came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already. And he's talking really bad and nasty to me. And so, I was like, God damn. I thought we were friends. He talking crazy. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What are you talking about? Start talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice, though.
That's why the Tyson bout is far more hazardous than it appears. It is not about Floyd being hurt. It is about his entire comeback strategy going up in smoke. Here's another twist. Crawford doesn't need this fight after defeating Canelo. Bud's legacy is already sealed. Fans and commentators alike consider him one of the all-time greats. His resume is full. He dared to be great, stepped up in weight, and dethroned boxing's biggest star. He might retire today, hang up his gloves, and still be known as the man who stunned the world and overcame every obstacle.
Before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him.
You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Fighting Floyd is about money rather than legacy, because even if Crawford wins, skeptics will always claim it wasn't Prime Floyd. The argument between Prime and Prime will never go away. That is why some insiders are advising Bud to ignore Floyd's call-out completely. He has nothing more to prove.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
But let us not sugarcoat it. If this bout takes place, Crawford will be in danger. Not physically, but in terms of legacy.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah,
his IQ in that
the funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true. But you
Can't
gotta have
say
an
that
OG
about
somewhere.
anybody
though.
else. Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right?
Yeah,
You gotta
There's
get
an
it.
OG you can't out-figure out
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure.
Beating Floyd Mayweather at nearly 50 will not stop his naysayers. Losing, however, may be disastrous. The went from being the boxing king to being humbled by a retired legend. For Floyd, there is no downside. His reputation is bulletproof, but feels like everything is on the line because everyone is looking at him. And that's why the airport punch was more than just a heated exchange. You could take someone like Canelo. This guy can unpick and choose who he wants to fight. And I am going to tell you the truth about Canelo. Easy, guy. Hank walks. Easy. You're all sitting up here praising this person. This dude was nothing. I was nearly 40 years old when I made this. Buddy. Easy. You're continually denigrating our warriors. It was the first domino in the larger game of chess. So, here is the narrative. Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather collided at the Dubai airport, but delivered a punch. The internet erupted, and now, the debate over who is the greatest boxer of all time feels more vibrant than ever.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
But this is more than just one punch. Floyd is hinting at a professional comeback. Regarding his reckless Tyson fight, Crawford's role in history after defeating Canelo, and how 2 eras of boxing have finally crossed paths, have you considered going for 51-0, breaking Mayweather's record of 50-0? Is this anything you considered? I already stated that I would never beat Mayweather's record. That wasn't something I wanted to do. Okay, to be honest, I was planning to retire if I didn't win the Arrow Spence battle. So that's it for today's video. If you loved it, remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell symbol so you don't miss any future videos. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment area. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.